work as a lab rat in the Mizrahi lab. What that means is I regularly get experimented on the limits of human endurance, and in exchange I get regularly fed and watered. And if I'm a good lab rat, I get to play on the wheel. And that is a great metaphor for being a lab technician, because you work really hard and your scientific career goes nowhere. There's lots of perks actually about being a lab technician. It's like being the youngest sibling in a family. By the time somebody has any attention on you, they're so tired that so when I asked Itzik, can I have a little creative liberty with this presentation? I'm not even sure he listened to me. He's just like, do whatever they want, do whatever you want. And so when I get creative liberty, I treat it like government surveillance. Everybody thinks that you should do a little, but when they see me do it, it's way too much. So the way I look at science is that I'm not presenting anything different. I'm making solid observations, and I'm making questionable conclusions on those observations. But like any good scientist, the purpose of science is whatever data you got, you just sell the shit out of it. So the biggest question I get is, why did you go to Israel? That's probably the most common question I get here. And what people are really asking is, if you had a good thing going in a first world country, why the hell would you go to an aspiring third world country? And it's actually a really tough question, because it makes me confront the fact that I actually have a lot in common with a stripper. What I'm trying to say is I take after my dad. So my dad, when he was in high school, he was going to be a lawyer. He actually had just gotten in a full ride into a university to do a poli-sci degree, and he was, he really had dreams of changing the justice system in America, which everybody knows didn't really need changing, but he felt like something needed to change. He just made one mistake. He tried to date my mother, which actually was fine until she got pregnant. Since my dad was still in high school, he's just like, he panicked for a second. He's like, he sees the dreams closing in around him. But he's like, I'm a gentleman. I'm going to stick through this. I'm going to go to law school and have a family. I'm going to do it all. What could go wrong? So, he did it for a few months until the moment came that they were going to go to the hospital and they were going to see the first ultrasound of me. So they go to the hospital and they put me up on the screen, and he looks at the picture and he doesn't see anything. He just sees darkness, and he realizes that's what his dreams look like. And he's like, anything is better than being around, the people that are going to crush my dreams. So I did manage to still kill his dreams, even though he didn't stick with it. He dropped out of high school. He joined the military, and within 3 months he was in Operation Desert Storm in Iraq. And for the next 18 years, he spent them entirely on deployment in over 8 countries, because God damn, that man is not going to be caught in one place long enough to have to start making child support payments. Growing up without a dad actually was great for my self-esteem. It actually taught me to be really strong and independent. At least that's what I thought. I was on a date one time, and I was getting to know the girl, and we were asking each other the same bullshit questions. Like, what do you do? What do you want to do? And, these sorts of things. And she asked me, so what do your parents do? And right there in the restaurant, I just start bawling. Just, my dad left me before I was even born. And I've never really dealt with that. And she goes, I can see why he left. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't even process. And then she gets up and she goes, I'm really sorry. I hate to do this, but I just can't date someone with daddy issues. Yeah, so who would have thought? The next question people like to ask is, so what's different about Israel, from the United States? And I grew up in Southern California, and so for the first couple months that I was here, I didn't actually realize there was anything different. There's lots of sand, lots of sun. Jews live in all the rich neighborhoods, and brown people are second-class citizens. So it actually took a while for me to be like, oh, I'm not back home. And then I started realizing that people speak Hebrew instead of Spanish. For the longest time, any good American knows that you don't need to learn another language, you don't need to learn another culture. Everyone else is trying to be like you, so just wait for them to get on board, you'll be fine. Another really big difference here is that there are camels here, and which I learned something really valuable, is that I always wished that there was a way that you could filter, your family and friends, and you could just filter the smart people and the idiots. And I found a brilliant way to do that is I took a picture of me with a camel, and I captioned it, me with my ride to work, and I sent that to my family and friends. And you would be absolutely amazed at how many people totally bought that. I got some absolutely amazing responses. Needless to say, my entire family bought that. That's the type of people they are. So I share this picture when I'm on a Skype call with my family, and there's a bunch of my family in the same room. And my grandpa goes, he goes, boy, where the hell is your pickup truck? I was like, "Pa, they don't have pickup trucks out here." And he goes, boy, let me tell you a story. We died on the beaches of Normandy in the name of freedom. And you know what freedom is, boy? The ability to drive your pickup truck wherever the hell you want. And I was like, I had to give it to him. That is a good point. That's freedom. My mom had my favorite response though. You know that face someone gets when they're trying really hard to say something nice, just can't do it? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. It is interesting, Mom. And then she goes, "But I just hope you're being safe out there." I wear a condom every time, Mom. Don't worry. Working here is a little bit different. One of my first experiences in the Mizrahi lab is their group meeting. This is literally my first day. And let's just put it this way. The longest I've ever lasted is like 5 minutes. 10 minutes on like a really good day. So when an hour into this meeting, and it shows no signs of finishing, I was like, this isn't fun anymore. This feels like work. And that's when I thought, well, I guess I am at work. So, people are a lot more direct in Israel, and I got that full frontal in this group meeting. They're telling the presenter right to his face, like, that slide is shit. Why are you wasting our time with that? And then there's arguments, like within arguments, and I don't even know what they're fighting about. But, everyone gets along. In America, we do it very differently. When you don't like something, you wait until just out of earshot, and then you tell your friend, So Susie's presentation, yeah, it looked like a 5-year-old drew it with crayon. And I'm pretty sure the 5-year-old knows more about biology. Oh, hi, Susie. Great presentation. You know, working for Itzik actually is a lot like dating. Meetings with Itzik start a lot like how dates go with me. So I kind of feel like you're not giving a great performance in there. I feel like when this started, you promised you would do a bunch of techniques I've never seen you do. But, you know, he's very good. He's a lot more direct. He'll tell me exactly what I need to do, which is not what you hear from a relationship. You ask him like, well, what could I do better? Well, if you loved me, you would know, so you wouldn't need to ask. No, he tells me exactly. Here's what it's going to do. You're going to hold this pipette. We're going to tape it. You're going to go into the lab. We'll lock you in there. And in the morning, if you've done your work, you get to spend 5 minutes on the wheel. All right, that's all.